Hello, I'm Ogrebeard, and this is my rough guide to Trials of Hercules on hard mode. Now, to be clear, this isn't a speedrun guide. If you wanna get the world record, I suggest you go watch DM Brandon or Devios. This is a guide if you wanna solo queue it and you wanna make it as easy as possible for you to actually get the items at the end. First, you need to grind easy mode because you need to have the items. Then you need to get the gold so you can get all the blessings. You do that from the church in the UI inside the game. You need to get all 3 blessings because it's gonna make things a lot easier for you. Then there's a matter of the team. I suggest having Aphrodite, Nike, and a hunter. For hunters, I would recommend Sesanos, but AMC would be fine as well. Now, the first boss, the Boar. What you want to do is you want to have Nike run in circles around the Boar. She needs to have a bit of movement speed at this point. I suggest maybe having Fatalis, but it's not necessary. Aphrodite's job in this part of this boss is very easy. You just gotta keep healing Nike. You can do a bit of attacking on the nest, but that's mostly the hunter's job. Just to kill the nest whenever they spawn. When Nike runs around in circles around the Boar like this, she'll never get knocked to the side, and thus will never invoke wake up the Boars inside the caves. So as long as you keep doing this, it should be pretty easy for you to do. Even if there's a bit of a scuffle like this, it shouldn't be a real problem. It should be quick for you to reset, get Nike out in the center again, where she can run around the circles. Near the end, the Boar will start to charge. This is generally quite easy to avoid. All you gotta do is not look at the Boar and just run sideways to it, or perpendicular to the direction it's gonna charge. Or of course, if you're Aphrodite, you can use the ult. All in all, this is a fairly easy boss once you get these simple tricks down. Now, normally I would not have started off with the Thebes, but I had to hurry a bit and I kind of panicked and bought the wrong item. Pythag is definitely the item you want to grab in the beginning. This part here with the spiders can be a little bit tricky. Remember the big spiders, they have an anti-heal, which is pretty much the worst thing you can run through in this game mode, since you don't really tank in this game. You tank with lifesteal, you don't tank with health or armor, so anti-heal can be kind of annoying, but mostly it should be alright. As you could see, you just gotta attack them quickly and then start running backwards, and then your hunter should be able to take care of them. Now, the cave really is one of the hardest parts of the trials. It's particularly one point towards the end, and we'll get to that in a second, where a lot of the spiders comes in from the front and from the back, and people tend to focus on them. And then there's an additional wave with a big spider coming in from the back, and that's where the problem usually starts. As I said before, the big spiders apply an anti-heal debuff, which is usually what gets people killed, because as you can see, Nike here can easily tank all the spiders with a cleave and quite easily heal up. So when that part comes, that's when you as an Aphrodite player or a Nike player want to pay extra attention. What you want to do is you want to make sure one of you two tank the big spider. You want to avoid the hunter tanking the big spider. In this run, you can see one of the advantages, pretty much the only advantage of having Medusa, is that you can ult the wave here. Though usually it should be a problem if either you or preferably Nike tanks the spiders, and then you use the Aphrodite ult and the Nike ult, and you should be able to get past that quite easily. Now you get to the second boss of the run, the Nemean Lion. The Nemean Lion is really quite easy, but you get punished very hard if you make a mistake. First, of course, you gotta knock down the pillar, and then what I prefer to do here when it starts to roar is to make sure you're not at the same side of the lion as your teammates, so you don't risk multiple people getting hit at the same time, and also the person who's actually have the aggro can more easily control it. And then stay kind of close to it, so you can run right next to it, away to the side of it, as soon as it starts to roar, and this should allow you to quite easily avoid the roar. When you have this team, I would suggest that Nike and Medusa is on pillar duty, and that means that you as Aphrodite should try and pull the lion afterwards. It's not, I mean, sometimes it's not easy, because you know, people get too bit too close, or somebody gets the lion into close to the pillar, and it's a bit annoying to try and peel it. And also remember, you don't want to peel the lion too far away. You want to keep it close to the pillar when the pillar is about to be destroyed, so your hunter and Nike gets the most time to attack the lion. As long as you can avoid the roar and you can take down the pillars fairly fast, you should be fine. Make sure it's also a good idea to make an agreement beforehand who's gonna tank the lion. In this case, you saw Nike starting to tank it, and she really just should be attacking the pillar, because as Aphrodite, you do pretty much no damage to the pillar. This is a good example of how to avoid the roar. Be sure to keep an eye on your teammates' health and be ready to use your ult in case they get low. In this case, I just used my ult to let Nike avoid the knock-up and the damage, since we're pretty close, and I thought I might as well use it here. When the lion gets low enough, you can just stay on it and attack it, even though it gets pretty high armor. It's not possible to kill. So when it's low like this, you might as well just go for it instead of doing another pillar. If you haven't played hard before, or haven't made it this far, then here comes the new part of the map, the swamp. Now, this area leading up to the final boss is quite easy, and you should really have no problem. It's just a bunch of minions, and there's really no trick to it. Just kill them. So now you made it to the final boss, the Hydra. The Hydra is a little bit more complex, as it has more patterns than the other bosses. But the first pattern is very easy. It's simply pour all your damage into the first head. And so it'll be down, and notice that once the head goes down, you have to attack it similar to Kumbhakana's passive. You have to give it those 10 attacks before it respawns. Now, the next section here is a little bit tricky, and what I like to do is look a bit more down on the floor so you can avoid the targets. You do quite a lot of damage, so be sure to run around behind the rock where there's more space, and like you can see here, don't get hit. The next thing is, you'll notice a dragon head above your head sometimes. This means that it's soon gonna land an AoE around you, and this does a ton of damage. So move away from the other players. Try and go as near the entrance as you can. As soon as it disappears, the AoE is gonna spawn, so you know when to start to move towards the Hydra again. If you get this on you as Aphrodite, it should be quite easily. You have additional movement speed. Try and stay attached to the hunter in that situation, as the hunter will usually be further back than Nike will be. Otherwise, you should stay attached to Nike to help her heal up, as she will be close to the Hydra, tanking more damage. Keep an eye on your hunter, and don't miss your kiss like I do, and try and help them stay alive. They are quite important to complete this boss, as you need that damage, or it's going to take forever to kill. Although it's not impossible at all if you lose one player. It is definitely possible to, as you will see later. The main thing to do here is just to keep calm. It's going to take you a bit longer if you lose a member, especially if you lose the hunter. But as long as you only lose one member, it should be fine. The pattern you've seen here will start repeating. Just remember, as soon as you see the dragon head above you, or Hydra head above your head, move away towards the entrance, and make sure to move as soon as the Hydra disappear, and try and not to block off any path. So you need to be able to constantly be able to run towards the Hydra and attack. This is where Aphrodite and Nike are really good. They're both able to sustain themselves for long periods, which can be harder for other characters. And this is definitely the main thing here, is to stay calm, and you should be able to get through this even if you lose your hunter. It's just gonna take a bit longer time, but you should be alright. Once you get to the last 3 heads, you should be able to recognize all the patterns. They should prove fairly easy for you to do. It's still the case, if you make a mistake, you can be punished quite fast and you can end the run prematurely. Once you get to the last head, you're almost done. The last head is actually quite easy. You need to again look down, as it will repeatedly start spitting out all the AoEs on the ground. When it does, just keep moving. Don't stand still, and you should be able to get past this part as well. You've got to get a single wave of minions in here, but they should not pose any threat. At this point, it's really just a grind for your Nike player. All you're really doing is giving Nike a bit of extra heal. At this point, it's all her damage doing the work. It's also a good idea to try and avoid to be too close to your allies, as this increases the chance of you bumping into each other, body blocking, and somebody might be pushed into one of the AoE targets. And that's really it. I'm gonna give you a look here at the end of the builds I used, and the other people in this run are just randoms I queued with, so the builds are far from optimal, I'm sure. What you wanna make sure is that if you're physical, you wanna have lifesteals, everything in this mode. And Aphrodite, I would usually have the shotguns, but in this case the Nike picked up the shotguns, so I did build it. One of the things that confused me a bit in the beginning. I got a bit stressed, but really it's not that hard to do once you get the patterns down. It's just a matter of trying a few times. You gotta have of course the right people queued into, but yeah, give it a go and I'm sure you'll succeed. I'm Hercules, and I hope you enjoyed this video.